Oh my god. What the f? This was in western North Carolina. Nothing like that should have been around here.
But as Palm Beach Pete. I'm not Epstein, I'm just Palm Beach Pete. Totally not Jeffrey Epstein, he's dead.
Man, grand rising to the collective. Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and 7-up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching on TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But I love y'all collective. I'm just getting up. Like literally it's 7 in the AM, bro. Like we right back at it. We right back at it. I appreciate you. I love you. If you haven't hyped the video up yet, please hype the video up. I forget to let y'all know that. But I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Check it out. I've been asking for it. Here it is.
Oh my God. It's digging, no eating something.
Shit kinda look like an armadillo. I don't know though, bro.
Get y'all asses in here and sit down. Well, look like supplies are low. The needle is on E. Now, although at the end of her performance, she stopped at the end of the catwalk and throwed them crutches down, you cannot tell me that supplies are not running low. Yep. Not so easily accessible nowadays. What supplies, you say? I'm gonna need you to use your head for more than a hat rack. These motherfuckers finna start aging real fast. Or should I say catching up with the age?
Lake Lanier is a major source of drinking water for Metro Atlanta, but lately many of you have noticed a foul odor and a bad taste.
Channel 2's Brian Mims is live along Lake Lanier.
I am standing next to the water intake site for the city of Gainesville. This is where the city draws water from Lake Lanier and sends it through those pipes.
Lanier.
I am standing next to the water intake site for the city of Gainesville. This is where the city draws water from Lake Lanier and sends it through those pipes, then off to the plant to be treated, then to homes and businesses. The city hopes it found something to provide relief from foul tasting and smelling water. There has been something in the water around here for some time.
It's called Oscarville, Georgia. Graves. Bones. No wonder why the water tastes foul. Trauma and rape will do that. It doesn't taste good. What the actual gaslighting hell?
A different taste. Honestly, it's had kind of a chemical taste. It's had a different texture to it.
Miles Coker has this comparison.
I don't know what mildew tastes like, but it tastes like I would think it would. Like it tastes like I would think.
I don't know why the water tastes so... You know what?
So this house is called the Andrew Jackson House. This house is one of the most haunted houses in the state of Kentucky, and it's absolutely creepy looking. I have heard some horror stories about that house. There has been a lot of Ghostbusters that has done a lot of video footage in that house, but you'll have to research it. The Andrew Jackson House in the state of Kentucky, southern Kentucky. Just look how creepy it looks. Oh, that's just absolutely mind-blowing. I really want to go walk through it, but I am way too scared. I don't like messing with that stuff. Not me. The story gets even better. Later on, around the 1900s, a gentleman by the last name of Roark purchased this property, and he used to sell whiskey out of this property. There was a gentleman that came up wanting to buy whiskey off of him, that came up and knocked on the front door to buy some whiskey. Mr. Roark told him no, that he is not going to sell him some whiskey. Well, the other gentleman attacked Mr. Roark. Mr. Roark hits the other gentleman with a rock. The gentleman falls down, and then he pulls out a firearm and shoots upon Mr. Roark, causing significant injuries to where he later on passed away. So all the creepy stories of this house and the many people who have stayed here has reportedly have seen things and heard things. I wonder which story that it could be from. But one thing we do know for sure is this house holds a lot of history, a lot of memories, past presidents, and it's a shame that it's in crumbles. It would be amazing if somebody could restore it, make a small museum out of it. It would be amazing for the town of Scottsville, Kentucky. But this house is located about 8 miles south on Andrew Jackson Highway in Scottsville, Kentucky, right on the Tennessee and Kentucky line. Don't forget to hit that like.
Why is Hershey's chocolate not melting anymore? I'm sorry, Hershey, what is this? What is this? Back in the day, a Hershey's chocolate wouldn't even last 5 seconds without melting. Did they change the ingredients? Is it not real chocolate anymore? Like, what is it? I'm sorry, is Hershey's chocolate even edible now? I'm telling y'all, this is not normal. How are y'all not seeing this?
So I'm in the bathroom right now. I'm not going to the bathroom if you're wondering. But I'm hearing like shuffling sounds outside the door. And I didn't put the camera. Bro, what the f was that? No.
Then, only 2 weeks later, this happens.
I swear to God, I heard like a woman talking in here. I swear to God, I heard a woman talking. What the fuck? Oh, no. No, I'm not doing that.
But before long, the loud bangs and unexplained voices turn into something much more sinister.
Hello? Oh my God, what the f?
Pointed it out.
Put it against the white background.
That shit is unfair that we can't eat nothing without shit being in it. You know what I mean? But I feel like now the veil has even been lifted with that. Like now we get to really see the truth behind DoorDashers, behind just what's in the damn food. Screws, we done seen teeth, we done seen fingers, we done seen all types of shit, bro. The clip before that, I'ma say I believe that clip because his reaction is genuine. It looked like he really is scared. He really was nervous. Him sitting in that bathroom, bro, that was a real jump. And he opened it. I didn't see no stops in the filming. But y'all let me know. Let me know y'all thoughts. Even him running up the stairs, bro, that looked like a genuine ass reaction. Like, that was real fear, bro.
And it's all happening on purpose. So make sure you watch to the very end, because I'm about to break down exactly why.
What happens, okay? It starts like this, and then it spreads like this. Poison! Starts like this, spreads out like this over your cities. This is not a conspiracy. Wake the up. What is this shit we are breathing in?
This is called solar geoengineering, and this is a real experiment that's being funded in order to control Earth's temperature.
And it's highly controversial. It would look something like this. Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of light-reflecting particles into the stratosphere. It would create a thin chemical cloud of those particles around the whole planet, blocking some sunlight from reaching the surface. It would mimic a giant volcanic eruption, which we know cools the Earth.
And also using harmful chemicals to do so. You mean to tell me this is helping the climate? This don't even look natural. But regardless of what's happening right now, this is why it's very important for you to take care of yourself and at least do your part to make sure you're staying healthy. That way you have a better immune system, so that whatever chemicals or crazy ideas these elite people are planning, you are already ahead of the game because you are spiritually, mentally, and physically healthy. Keep on getting charged up from the sun, because this is exactly what they're trying to block you from. Maybe it's something he knows about it that we don't, which is why it's a part of his big plan to block it. Make sure you share this video with at least one person. That way they stay prepared. And click right here to hit follow so that you can stay informed and don't miss out on anything else. Love y'all, family. Make sure y'all stay conscious.
Man, I got so much to say about that.
Now this is how I know. Brothers like Ryan Coogler know exactly what's going on. Unfortunately, as a movie producer in Hollywood, he can only expose so much.
Okay, is this Wakanda?
No, it's Kansas.
Have y'all seen the new Cheez-It commercial? Here, I'll show it to you so you don't have to go search for it.
Oh, that is a cheesy little baby. Yummy. Ooh, what a salty little boy.
So it's a boy? What? We're living in a dystopia, right? This isn't real life. This is the Hunger Games. I'm currently watching a simulation. That's what's happening, right? This isn't real life. Right? And don't give me the whole, well, she's not actually looking at the baby. She's looking at a Cheez-It floating in front of her face. No, she's picturing a Cheez-It while looking at imaging inside of a mother's womb of a baby. And the way she's talking is really, really gross on multiple levels that I don't even want to fathom. I'm just so disgusted by so many things. This is not okay. And we should be mad about it.
Tell me the conspiracy theories that you 100% believe are true. Y'all, let's read the comments and talk about it. Because y'all know I am the conspiracy queen. Like, I could do this all night. This person says the woman on the plane actually saw something. Listen, don't even get me freaking started on the woman on the plane. You know that woman that was like, that man in the back is not real. She saw something. I think she saw something spiritual, because y'all already know that I think the world is more spiritual than physical. And then on top of that, people are like, oh, well, she was just intoxicated. Being intoxicated makes you more susceptible to spiritual attacks. So I definitely think she saw something. And then there was that whole like thing where she had disappeared for a second, and then someone tracked her coordinates, and it was like by the White House. And then all of a sudden she popped back up talking about, oh, it was, what did she say? She was like, oh, I don't even know. She got into a fight with someone, and like it was nothing crazy. I don't remember what she said on the interview. But all of a sudden, after she reappears, she's all over the news. But before, you couldn't see her on the news though. Listen, all I'm gonna say is they cloned Tyrone. All I'm gonna say. Just like that whole Bayside Marketplace incident, I think that was in Miami or something, right? All those police cars were around, like I'm talking, what's that? Like hundreds of police cars around that mall. Nobody knows what actually happened there. I think something kind of beast they had hidden underground. It could literally be anything. Genuinely. And you're telling me everybody has their phones at all times, but nobody got any footage of what really happened? They're talking about a shooting or a pew-pewing. I ain't never seen that many police cars for a pew-pewing. This one got me. This one says Sandra Bland was actually in her mugshot. You know what's crazy? I looked up the mugshot and I don't know. Guys, look at that. Low key. That's so freaking sad. Like, I would not even be surprised. There's another comment on the theory that the Garden of Eden is actually behind the ice wall in Antarctica, and you guys are gonna hate me, but I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger with that one. We're just gonna have to make another video. I'm not trying to make these too long. That is going to require an entire video because, like, y'all already know when it comes to Antarctica, there's a lot to talk about, a lot of tea to spill. Anyway, as always, make sure you guys like and follow. Comment down below what you guys think.
The Garden of Eden being past Antarctica, there's about to be so many different opinions on that one. Whenever it comes to religion, anything like that, bro, I notice it be the opinions be so out there that it be like, whoa. People be getting mad with each other. It be like, bro, chill. Relax. When we come here, we could relax, we could chill, we could be open-minded and not judge. You can think what you want and not be judged. If you say whatever you say, just make it respectful. Don't be insulting or vibrating too low, trying to start some shit with people because you upset. Again, because here I want everybody to vibrate so high to the point where we don't get that no attention, so it don't affect us. It's just said. But to those who are saying it, we want them to vibrate higher. But everybody go at their own speed. But everybody don't got to go to war. Because that's one right there that's going to make some people hot. And they be like, bro, why you so mad? Why you so mad? So what? Another person don't think like you. So what? If they do think like you, still, what does it do for you? Nothing. It does nothing. So you got to just let it go, bro. You got to, as long as you doing right. As long as you doing what you supposed to do.
6 top-level U.S. scientists linked to UFO and space programs have vanished in the past year alone, and it's time to talk about it. Let's say hypothetically the U.S. were in possession of alien technology and were studying it. What kind of scientists would be involved? Think advanced propulsion, plasma physics, nuclear research, deep space observation. Now listen to this list. First, Monica Reza, aerospace engineer working on advanced rocket materials tied to defense-funded programs. She disappears in 2025 while hiking, never found. Her specialty, rocket propulsion advanced materials. That's literally the same category of tech that people speculate about when they talk about non-human and next-gen propulsion systems. Number 2, Melissa Cassius. Melissa worked for the Los Alamos National Laboratory. She resets her phone, walks toward a forest, and vanishes. Los Alamos isn't just nuclear weapons, it's one of the most classified research hubs in the country. And in UFO circles, it's constantly mentioned in conversations about reverse engineering unknown tech. Number 3, Jacob Pritchard. Jacob's a defense analyst connected to Air Force research. In mid-2025, Jacob Pritchard is involved in a murder-suicide resulting in the deaths of his wife, his colleague, and himself. Jacob's field, same exact ecosystem. Air Force research, advanced systems, and classified work. Number 4, Nuno Loureiro, MIT plasma physicist, shot and killed in his home. Plasma physics is a huge deal. It's directly tied to fusion energy, advanced propulsion, and theories around unidentified aerial phenomenon. Number 5, Carl Grillmeyer, astrophysicist at Caltech, shot and killed in his own home. Carl's work focused on space observation programs. And finally, we have the most recent William Neal McCaslin. William is a retired Air Force general and the former head of the Air Force Research Laboratory. A few weeks ago, he just disappears. And this is where it gets uncomfortable. Because the Air Force Research Laboratory isn't just defense. It sits at the intersection of cutting-edge aerospace, classified tech, and historically UFO-related research pipelines. Now, let's zoom out a bit. All of these people work in overlapping spaces. Defense research, aerospace, nuclear labs, plasma physics, same funding pipeline, same national security umbrella. And this cluster of disappearances has happened in less than a year. And happening right now, we have multiple members of Congress who are starting to speak more openly about what they've been briefed on. Matt Gaetz is now blowing the whistle on what he's calling an alien hybrid breeding program that is being run by the military. And when asked about it recently on Newsmax, sitting Representative Tim Burchett said that he couldn't confirm or deny these claims from Matt Gaetz, but he did say that what he's been briefed on in classified briefings would shock the world. It's obvious that there is some sort of momentum building up here on this UFO topic. The timing sure is interesting. I mean, don't stop talking about the Epstein files, but what are we dealing with here?
All right, I have one more story. This guy was dating this girl, 1893 in Texas, and he ended up breaking up with her, and she couldn't handle it. She was so upset by it that she ended up,
oh no,
very sad.
Yeah.
The brother of the girl went to this man's house
To seek revenge.
To seek revenge, shot at him. It grazed him and lodged into a tree behind him. And he's like, I'm the luckiest man ever. But that brother ended up immediately, 40 years went by. He got married, had kids. And then him and his son were like, we're going to go take down that tree. And it was a big old tree.
No.
They started chopping it down. It was like such a big tree and like really dense.
No.
He said, go get the dynamite.
Don't.
The son put the dynamite in. The dad's just standing there. It was like 100 yards away or something. The son lights the dynamite, runs away. Boom. That bullet that was lodged in that tree right in the middle of the forehead.
Are you kidding me? That's a real story?
Real story. The fire from the dynamite went up through the tree,
Pushed it
dislodged
out.
the bullet, went straight into the dude's head.
This is part 3 of craziest conspiracies. Let's get into it. We're gonna read more comments on that video and spill the tea. This person says, behind the ice wall, there is a whole different civilization studying us and watching us. I know I've talked about Antarctica so many times, but I'm gonna talk about it again for all the new followers. So, Antarctica, absolutely sus for every single freaking reason. So Admiral Byrd, he was a famous aviator in the early 1900s. He says he flew into a hole out the other end, hollow earth style, and saw lush green land, and he saw rainbow cities, just like an ancient civilization type thing. Came back, told the world. Admiral Byrd, I believe he unalived 10 years later. Right after that, 1958, NASA was created. In 1959, just a year afterwards, the Antarctic Treaty was signed. I think NASA was a shiny distraction to keep people from looking into Antarctic. The Antarctic Treaty. So basically that treaty is where all of the nations came together to agree on one thing, and that one thing was they are to be prohibited from self-exploration of certain parts of Antarctica, where they say it's just ice, right? Like if it's just ice, then what is the big deal? Obviously it is a freezing tundra, but why, out of all the things, nations cannot come together to end world hunger, they can't come together to end a freaking war, y'all can decide that we can't go to Antarctica? Call me a 5-year-old, but when you tell me I can't do something, I want to do it more. And the ice wall thing came into play because Admiral Byrd had an operation called Operation High Jump. And y'all know, I think everything they put in the TV has some kind of fact to it. Let's take into account Game of Thrones, winter is coming, the ice wall in Game of Thrones, and what was behind that freaking ice wall in Game of Thrones, okay? There's a whole theory about what in the world could be behind the ice wall. It could be Gog and Magog, which is an ancient Jewish text, and it's also in the Quran, I believe. In the Quran, they're called Yajuj and Majuj. Basically, it's a king and a group of different kinds of species. A lot of people think it's giants, and they are waiting in the mountains, some remote area that we don't know about. Some people think that they could be Gog and Magog. Some people think that the behemoth is behind the ice wall because of the Leviathan. A lot of us believe Leviathan is still at the bottom of the ocean, which is why they were randomly detonating bombs. Animals were beaching themselves. There were ocean fires, like absolutely insane things going on in the ocean. We know that sea gigantism exists, right? So if we think about how deep the ocean is, Leviathan really could be there. But where would the behemoth? That's the land creature. So where in the world would a colossal land creature hide? Maybe behind the ice wall, especially since it's lush green land. Oh my gosh, how did I only get to one? I got to one comment. Guys, I yap way too much. As always, make sure you like and follow. Comment down below if you want a part 4. I already know if you want a part 4, but what do y'all think about this whole ice wall thing?
They can't even agree on oil right now in war.
It's weird whenever TMZ is left speechless after interviewing Palm Beach Pete, the guy who looks like Jeffrey Epstein.
Wait, hold on. Wait, in 2019, you're saying you lived in New York City?
Yes.
So you've been everywhere he goes.
All they were doing was asking Palm Beach Pete where he was living in certain years, and he was telling them he was living in cities where Jeffrey was living at the same time. Him granting this interview with TMZ is part of basically his world tour of trying to prove that he is not the man everyone is saying.
Morning, everybody. This is Palm Beach Pete. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just Palm Beach Pete. I'm so not Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, everybody. This is Palm Beach Pete. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete. I'm Palm Beach Pete. It's Palm Beach Pete. Nothing to do with Jeff Epstein. But as Palm Beach Pete. I'm not Epstein. I'm just Palm Beach Pete. Totally not Jeffrey Epstein. He's dead.
Has kicked off the conspiracy theory that was already going on about this man, but now they are comparing his dental records, they are comparing the wrinkles on his face, smile lines, the bags underneath his eyes. But his family is still saying, no guys, this is just Palm Beach Pete. He is not Jeffrey. We just thought TMZ was shocked whenever they interviewed this man, but now they have found this man in the files. He's who they are assuming is Palm Beach Pete, because in an email they said, saw your twin last night, my heart almost jumped out of my chest when I saw him. The similarity is unbelievable.
If he was in the soul swapping, making clones, I can't go too far on language with it. Why wouldn't he have done that to himself? Why wouldn't he? Well, that wouldn't be some mad scientist shit. I always feel like in order to beat your enemy or sometimes in order to understand somebody, you gotta think from their perspective. You gotta put yourself in their shoes. Whether they did some evil shit, whether they didn't. That's my opinion. What's y'all thoughts?
What you're looking at is allegedly footage showing a human sacrifice ritual in front of the Shiva statue at CERN. The organization quickly dismissed it as a prank, but the imagery alone sparked conspiracy theories that still circulate today. The video shows a figure performing what appears to be a ritualistic act directly in front of the Shiva statue, a massive bronze sculpture representing destruction and creation. The statue itself, gifted by India in 2004, has become central to myths about secret ceremonies at CERN. People point to the statue's symbolism and the timing of the video to suggest something darker than scientific research may be happening behind closed doors. The ritual imagery feeds into a larger web of speculations about CERN. Some believe the ritual ties to occult practices, suggesting the organization uses symbolic ceremonies to unlock or channel hidden energies. The Shiva statue is often cited as a focal point for those theories due to its association with destruction, rebirth, and cosmic cycles. The clip coincided with conspiracy chatter online about CERN's secret experiments that could open portals to other dimensions or summon unknown forces. Rumors suggest these rituals are part of a broader plan by elites to harness occult energy for undisclosed purposes. The idea of an organization like CERN, which already operates in secrecy with world-altering experiments, combined with a ritual that looks like human sacrifice, creates a potent narrative. It taps into fears about hidden knowledge, elite agendas, and rituals that blend science with the occult. Even if the video is staged, the myth itself has legs because it aligns with what many already suspect about shadowy organizations experimenting beyond moral limits. The ritual video went viral because it represents a primal fear, someone secretly living in or controlling our world, performing acts we're not meant to witness. The combination of secrecy, ritual, and high-profile scientific location makes the story irresistible for conspiracy theorists. And it does rub me the wrong way. Why would they just quote-unquote stage a ritual as a prank at CERN? I don't know, it seems weird to me, but that's just me.
They got caught. We seen that shit is what it was.
Paradise Season 2 just ended with a wild cliffhanger about the Denver airport, but it's shocking me how few people know about the real-life conspiracy theories about this exact plot. Let's get into it. So, like, the whole doomsday bunker under the Denver airport storyline, that's not random. That's a decades-old conspiracy theory. It is believed that underneath the Denver airport, there are massive underground tunnels, hidden bunkers, and a place elites will go if the world ends. And the total cost of construction of this airport ended up being $2 billion over budget. And there were claims back in the 80s that they built parts of the airport and then buried them, which makes no sense unless something's been hidden. And then to make things worse, inside of the airport, there are these really disturbing murals depicting war scenes, people in gas masks, dead animals, and really apocalyptic imagery. And there's a long-standing idea that if DC were to ever suffer a catastrophic loss, Denver would immediately become the new capital of the United States, which does give credence to the idea that there's all this secret underground infrastructure in Denver. And then there's Blucifer, which is honestly the most absurd part about the entire theory. Blucifer is a 32-foot tall blue horse statue with red eyes that towers over the airport. And during construction, a piece of it broke off and killed the artist who made it. Like, severed his artery. He died before it was ever completed. And that's what greets you when you land. So it's looking like Paradise Season 3 is going to be totally intertwined with real-life conspiracy theories about the Denver International Airport. And honestly, regardless of what's fact and what's fiction, something is definitely off about the Denver airport.
With the mural on the wall, with the soldier taking the sword, sticking the dove with it, killing the dove, do y'all think that's them letting us know, because the dove represents peace, do y'all think that's them saying they're killing peace and it ain't gonna be peace, it's gonna be chaotic? That's my thoughts. What's your thoughts when it comes to them wearing a gas mask and all these different children with different nationalities are laying in them coffins? Do y'all think that's them signifying when they're chemtrailing? I don't know. For entertainment purposes, y'all let me know your thoughts. I'm just questioning it because that's what like goes off in my head when I see it. I want to know if that's what goes off in y'all's too.
This is Muhammad's beard hair. This is his tooth. This is his sword. And this is his robe. And it's all preserved and it's all honored. But you know what nobody has managed to find? The Torah that Muhammad supposedly interacted with, the one that would match the Quran, the one that would have all of these corrected prophet stories, the one with all the different Joseph details, there's 900 by the way, different Moses timeline, the one that actually has all the Jewish Midrash legends in the Quran as stories in a real scripture. That scroll is nowhere to be found. It's not in Mecca, it's not in Medina, it's not in Khaybar. So the Muslims that want every single Christian to convert, dig up Mecca, Medina, and Khaybar and excavate for these Torah scrolls. Dig up everything trying to find one. That is the most valuable thing Islam can ever do for the sake of its religion and proving it's true, okay? And think about this. If that Torah existed, it's game over. Like Christians would line up to see it, we'd test it, the Jews would have to explain it. We would lose our minds if that actually existed. Because now you've got physical evidence that the Bible was actually different, and that would be the strongest proof for Islam in the entire earth. And yet, we have zero manuscripts that match the Quranic versions of these stories. They're not even close, not to mention even 5 or 10% similar. There's nothing even close. Instead, we have Jewish Midrash that matches it, and on our side, we have the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Septuagint, Hebrew Bible traditions, all saying the same thing centuries before Muhammad across so many continents. So you've got a choice. Either there was a completely different Torah that vanished without a trace, and you're basing your Muslim faith on that, which is a conspiracy theory in my opinion, or the Quran is interacting with stories without actually verifying the text, aka Muhammad just couldn't read Hebrew and check it for himself, which we can do today. We're smarter than 7th century Arabs. What a simple explanation, okay? Glory to God.
There we go. You about to ruffle them shits.
Well, in 1943, the government was conducting experiments which were originally envisioned by Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein in the 20s, which were to create a field, an electronic field, which would cause being invisible. Now, what Nikola Tesla tried to tell the government, and they didn't listen to him, was they were making something invisible by making it leave the space-time continuum as we know it. And he wanted safeguards such as making a wristband that the sailors would wear, which would let them know where in the universe were, in reference to the ship. And because the government said, no, we don't want to spend the extra $500 a wristband, Nikola Tesla backed out and then was later killed for his trouble, theoretically.
How did they know that the wristband will help them or keep them in that location?
Well, basically what the wristband was designed to do was to maintain the 0 point of the person's consciousness on board the ship. See, when the ship left the space-time continuum, what would happen was the ship would become the universe for that person. And that's what the wristbands would allow the person to know. And without the wristbands, the person was just like floating in space. And what ended up happening was when the ship rematerialized, sailors materialized inside the decks and inside the bulkheads, half in and half out, and screaming horribly, needless to say. Also, the energetics of the situation caused some sailors to freeze and others to burn from the inside out. And as a result of that, what ended up happening to the ship was it teleported to Norfolk, Virginia. But it was missing for several days. And that's where the Montauk Project comes in, which supposedly took place out at Montauk Point in an old abandoned Army Air Corps station, which was then given over to the Air Force, which was also one of the sites where Nikola Tesla had been digging tunnels for one of his free energy programs. Well, basically, at the Montauk Project, they were conducting experiments in time, and they weren't paying attention, and their big experiment took place on the same day at the same hour as the Philadelphia experiment had 40 years earlier. And so what ended up happening was the ship was sucked into their space-time nexus, and two men fell off. And then the ship was teleported to Norfolk, Virginia. And one of those men was Al Bielek, who's, I believe, doing a workshop at the moment, who's with us here today, as well as Duncan Cameron. And
So time travel does exist?
Oh, absolutely, and the government's been doing it since the 30s.
How would you get more information on that, on time travel in itself? And could individuals time travel without a machine or a mechanical apparatus?
Well, a gentleman out of California named Nick Nocerino got the entire file on the Philadelphia experiment out of the Freedom of Information Act. But the thing is, although all that information is supposedly available to the public, they change the codes by which it's filed every day. So unless you know the code that day, you can't get it, and it takes about 48 hours to get the codes for a file for the file. So basically what happened was Nick Nocerino went to some of the FAR viewers that were trained by the CIA and said, "What's the file number for this?" Got it, walked across the street, punched it into the computer, got the file, walked out. And it included pictures of everybody, including Al Bielek and a variety of other people that had said they were involved but couldn't prove it because their minds had been wiped by various government agencies.
That's a whole rabbit hole in itself. I ain't heard about that.
Know? I'm the one that was shoved inside of the clean sphere. I'm the one that had to face what I had to face. They didn't.
It takes a lot of courage to say things like this publicly, and as you can see, he paid a price for it. If this were fabricated, it's unlikely anything would have happened at all, but man, those images. Listen to what he says next.
What the P-45s, meaning they are from the future, 45,000 years ahead of...
45,000 years ahead on a separate timeline than what we are presently on, or a timeline that we could transition over to from where we are now.
I'll be honest, this topic shook me more than I expected. Lately, I've been hearing this idea of multiple timelines more and more. And in this video, Dan goes further than that, which is even more surprising. Honestly, I think he reveals too much. Making such information public comes with a lot of risk. He even goes into who's involved in Majestic and...
Damn, I wanted to hear more, bro.
Okay, so we know these photos of Jeffrey at Disney, right? They've been out for years. We've all asked a lot of questions about them, right? Well, I have found in the files an unredacted version of this photo, this Disney trip Jeffrey took circa 2004-2005. Here is an unredacted version of that photo. Obviously, there is a little girl in the man in the yellow's lap, so she is redacted, but let's take a close look at who the man in the yellow is. Here's another angle of him, and he still has this little girl sitting in his lap, and Jeffrey's like looking down at her. I am almost positive that the man in that photo with Jeffrey is George John Mitchell Jr. He is a former senator from Maine, and he used to be the Senate Majority Leader. He was appointed special envoy to Northern Ireland under Bill Clinton's administration, and he worked as a special envoy to the Middle East during President Obama's administration. But beyond that, George John Mitchell Jr. served as chairman of the Walt Disney Company from 2004 to 2007, which perfectly fits the timeline of when this photo was taken at Disney. And if you're wondering who the little girl sitting in his lap could be, well, George John Mitchell Jr. had 2 different marriages. His second wife was around 25-30 years younger than him, and together they had 2 children, one of those children being a little girl. And this photo was taken a few years after the photo at Disney was taken. And this man comes up all the time in Jeffrey's emails, and Jeffrey refers to him as a very close friend. And in this email where he refers to George Mitchell being a chairman of Piper, he's talking about DLA Piper, which is an international law firm. Here's an email from Leslie to Jeffrey asking him if he wants her to set up a lunch between Jeffrey, George Mitchell, and Bill Gates. So like all of that is why I believe that the man in this photo is former senator from Maine and former chairman of the Walt Disney Company, George John Mitchell Jr. And I could be wrong, but that's a very distinct smile to me. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments.
A document showed that Hillary Clinton took exceptional interest in the search for the tomb of Gilgamesh. There is an ongoing conspiracy theory that the real motivation for the invasion of Iraq was to find the tomb of Gilgamesh. Why on earth would Hillary Clinton be interested in Gilgamesh?
Gilgamesh, he was a giant. He was half god, half man. He was on a quest for immortality. I think they really wanted to find his tomb to see if they can do a DNA test.
One of the things that they might have recovered in Iraq was a Stargate.
Saddam was learning how to activate these things. He was getting ready to expose this to the world. His new museum that he had just built with all the information that can prove that there was an ancient advanced civilization and an ancient airport with beings flying and landing here in Iraq. And they were going to expose all of this.
Spaceships.
Yeah.
And why if them extraterrestrials are so bad, then why did they eliminate somebody who was about to bring the truth? But somebody gotta come back, somebody gonna still disagree, and I respect it. And that's all I love still. But damn it, if people still be pulling shit from their ass just to make it make sense when they know damn well it don't. Why? Because then 1% and the people, man, look, I never seen an extraterrestrial come down and tell somebody, pay this, pay that, do this, do that. We can't accept you even though it's a dire situation because you don't have insurance. I've never seen them come down and do shit to us humans that some of us humans do to us humans. If that even makes sense. Bro, that shit's crazy. But people still will blame something they ain't never seen. But I'm telling you, it's like a bully slapping the shit out of you, punching you in the face numerous times. You blame it on somebody else and letting that bully still whoop your ass. That's what happens here. I feel like we blame something that we ain't seen or we see from a distance, but we letting the people who really effing us from the back, we letting them off the hook, and they continue to eff us from the back. That's my opinion. And one day, them people who effing us is gonna stage some shit and make us believe it's some shit it is not, and still continue to eff us from the back, bro. I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm telling you.
Alright, all the Cryptid fans in the audience, you have to tell me in the comments what you think of Johnny's story. It begins, when I was 14 or so in 2003, North Carolina, I was just walking near a decent-sized forest when I noticed an animal watching me from the trees. I love wildlife, so I took a good long look at the animal. It resembled an orangutan-lemur hybrid. After a moment of looking at each other, it took off into the trees and disappeared. This was in western North Carolina. Nothing like that should have been around here. For a few years, I looked on and off for articles about someone's escaped exotic pet, but I never found anything. There was no such article. It doesn't mean somebody didn't release their exotic primate, but I never found any evidence that they did. And that's the end of his report. And a lot of people might call this a classic Bigfoot, maybe even a juvenile Sasquatch. But it seems a little bit strange with the lemur element.
Have you heard of this new mountain giant that was spotted in Colorado? Nobody's talking about this. So these two women, Jessie Clausen and Camille Avarella, were hiking in Colorado at Long's Peak on August 24th, way up in the Rockies. They took this selfie after hiking for 7 hours, but it didn't realize what they caught on camera until later, and it shocked them to the bone. When they were finally showing family members their pictures on this big screen plasma TV a couple weeks later, Camille's dad was horrified when they showed this picture right here, which appears to show a huge creature scaling the side of the mountain in the background. He estimated that this thing was at least 20 feet tall. Here's the zoomed in shot. And no, it's not the Slide Rock Bolter, but this thing looks much more like a giant, lanky humanoid. Are we dealing with giants in the Rockies? This kind of reminds me of the Andrew Dawson story from a couple years back a little bit. Some are even saying this is the SCP-096 or the Shy Guy, which is said to have some frightening abilities. But what is it really? I think it's likely just a case of pareidolia, and this is just a interesting rock formation that looks like it has a humanoid on it when the light hits it a certain way. But let me know what you think in the comments.
Y'all agreeing with him?
I don't know what that is, but it's big and hissing.
Hissing?
Hissing. That's the best I can get, but it's something. Do you see that? Ah, what the fuck is that?
It moved.
Yes, it's moving. It hit.
There's some creatures in my yard. And some creatures, I don't know what they are, but Chrissy was using the bathroom and it hissed at her.
And I got her.
Well, it's in the dark. All we can see is the eyes, but the eyes are...
I can't get my phone to focus on nothing.
I see the headlights, lights again, eyeballs again. What's it doing?
Can't see, it won't focus.
Eyeballs are still there.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Uh-huh. I ain't scared.
It's not moving. Sorry, what the f is that? This is the 5th time. Oh, it's backing up. It's literally backing up.
Tell him not to pull it too far. Because it'll scare it off.
Did it back up?
No, it's still there. I still see it. It is backing up, though.
It's backing up.
Wow, a monkey. A monkey on top of the coconut tree. It's crazy. Yep, in Jamaica. Look at his eyes. Wow, a monkey. A monkey on top of the tree. It's crazy. Yep, in Jamaica.
I remember that clip. What do y'all think that is? It look like a goat man or something.
Alright guys, get on in here. We've got a new report from a woman named Yemna. This is what she says. In 2021, a couple of friends and I were on a friend's boat swimming around the San Juan Islands outside of Seattle. On that clear summer day, we were cruising around in the boat when my friend suddenly exclaimed and pointed to the left, asking, "What's that in the water?" So we all look, and we saw a serpent-like creature swimming quickly in a sort of zigzagging motion through the water. It momentarily raised its head before going back under. One friend suggested that it could be a sea serpent, and I thought they just meant sea snakes, which don't get anywhere near the size of this thing. It was probably around 25 feet long.
Come on, Tom.
Oh, swim, man.
Swim, Tom. Swim. Swim.
Oh my God, did you see it?
No. No, we've not seen it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wait, what is...
Dude.
What is...
Oh my gosh, dude, did you see that?
Thank God you're true, man. That's the same thing we've been seeing.
That's it, man. Let's get out of here. Let's find out what that thing was.
Dude, it's right up there, look.
Sorry, man. Why does it keep
We gotta go, like, right now.
Oh my God.
Now. What? There it is.
Dude, do you see it? Do you see it?
No, hold on. Dude, if we get this on camera... There it is. That's it.
Dude, why does it keep chasing us?
I don't know. Oh, my goodness. That is...
Dude,
oh, my
I think it's about
gosh.
to jump in the water.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh! Go! What the heck? It's chasing the boat, Tom! Go! Oh my goodness. Go! Go!
Damn, man, I got so many questions. They must have made it out. What's y'all thoughts? Was it cap or was it not? But y'all know we made it to the end of this. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching on TV, whatever the case is. I wish for smooth 7. I love y'all Collective. Till I see y'all in the next one. Y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what I'm about.